There you go. Let me go check it.
Okay, can you check? Nothing on Insta. Is it on Facebook? Oh, but it said on Instagram you have to hit. Oh well. There we go. There we go.
You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're live.
Go ahead and start.
But can they see us?
J. Let's see. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
They can
yeah.
see us on there. Okay, so go back to Canva. This other one on the right.
Oh yeah. You're live.
Next tab over. Yep. And then just hit present. And then hit present. There you go. Woo! Okay. Here we go. All right. Hi, everybody. Sorry about technical difficulties. Computers were not on our side today. Before we get started, just want to introduce a couple of our guests. So I'm going to introduce Jill, Dr. Josh, Sage, and Pukar. If you guys want to just make your way up to the stage. These wonderful people have helped me in so many ways. Dr. Josh and Sage have seen me in tears because of the amount of pain my body has experienced, and they have just helped me in so many ways. I'm so grateful for all of them. So I'm actually going to start with Jill. So if you're looking to book with her, you can actually just go ahead and scan this QR code, and you can get directly access with her. Jill, if you just want to start about things you do, because I mean, you keep me clean and up to par over here.
I'm Jill. I'm a physician. I just celebrated my 8 years in this industry. Not 8.
Woo!
Which is exciting. I specialize in luxury spray tanning and full body waxing, but I also partnered with companies for skincare as well as some nutraceuticals, because I believe that wellness is like the key to beauty. It starts in your gut and everything else comes after that. Like the water and everything else, you've got to keep your body right. So if you have any questions for me about any of those types of things, just stop by. I have a gift for everyone as well. And I have something really exciting launching in October. I can't talk about it right now, but if you want to know more, I'll put you on my list and we can chat about it.
Thank you. All right, Pukar, you're up next. This is our wonderful chef. We had a mutual friend who we love, but he unfortunately passed away. So we met through him. And Pukar he specializes in French cuisine, but he can make anything. I mean, this guy, you just get him on a stove and he's right there. So Pukar, just tell them a little bit more about you and what your vision is and how they can get a hold of you.
So, I've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years now. Come to find out, this was my passion. It changed my life from who I used to be to who I want to become. And as Renee said, I was trained French techniques. That's my basic. But I live here in America, so American ingredients and American restaurants where I work at right now, where I've worked at. And I was born in Nepal, so I like my curries, I like my spice, and the whole food world. There's a lot for me to learn still, but I like to try everything at least once, So yeah, and you guys could reach me at my Instagram, Pukar in Denver. I'm gonna be a private chef full time. I just quit my job to do this, so.
Yes, we support that mission fully. And then these two wonderful people have seen me break down, come crying to them, calling to them, and they have helped me so much through so much pain. So Josh, if you want to go ahead and start with everything you do, he's actually located in this building, and I see him 2 to 3 times a week right now, and he's actually helping me and my mom heal from our recent car accident. So we really appreciate you. Tell them more.
Well, so guys, just want to say thanks for coming in. Whether we have masseuse, esthetician, good food, the Kangen Water, you guys are all being proactive right now, right? You're making sure that you kind of think about your health. We're taking steps in the right directions. These are all great people that can definitely support you. So what I do, I'm a structural doc. I'm 2 years out of school, work with my dad. We just kind of run a nice little office here. Wellness, what my big goal is for you is just to kind of bring you in. I talk to most of you. I'm offering free sets of x-rays, just to kind of get you in, see what the baseline is, see how you're riding on your tires. My goal for each and every one of you is just to basically restore your range of motion, decrease any symptoms you have, and just keep the engine going. I mean, I'm not the guy that necessarily makes the deaf hear and the blind see, but I am the guy who helps people restore back to some sort of functional normal. So I'd love to be that guy for you. Again, the passion is right, and you got so many good people here. So I mean, thank you for all coming out and making this event great.
Woo, yay. All right, and last but not least, our very special Sage. I met her through a mutual friend, and I kept telling this mutual friend, no, I don't need a massage, I'm fine, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm paying for one for you. Like, she's showing up in like 30 minutes. I'm like, what? So I'm like, scrambling. She comes to my door, and I was like, you know what? I've had so many massages, and it just felt like, people touched me, and it didn't really do much. And so she got in, she started working on my body, and I mean, this is something that I had never experienced before. She truly gets in there. She finds those points without you even having to tell her. And she just does so many different things. Like, she makes her own teas. I mean, she just has so many creams and different things. She's actually helped me through multiple of my surgeries, getting back to normal, coming to my house and working on some of that scar tissue that I've had. And recently started working on my mom, who my mom was like, I'm never getting a massage, never doing it. And same thing. I mean, she just changes people's perception on the massage industry. Tell us more.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. So I'm Sage Sabrina. I've been in the industry 12 years now, and I specialize in more like a structural approach to sports, oncology, and then overall reflexology, and kind of have a range of techniques that I use, all the way from reflexology to Thai massage, to just kind of hone in and find what is best for your body. And so my main goal is actually helping you become your best therapist, your best healer, because we are all in our bodies. We are, as aware as we can be in our fast-paced life. Everything, breaks down, and everybody goes into situations or jobs that, cause this buildup. So what my goal is finding the routines that you're in, the patterns that have built up, and then breaking those patterns with small scale movements you can make on your own time, so that you can correct your own body injuries or positions that are hurting you. And you can find me pretty much anywhere, your office, your home, hospitals, nursing homes. I go to all of them. So I'm mobile, everywhere in between Boulder and Littleton. And I absolutely love coming to you guys. That means that you're not put in a dangerous, euphoric state out there in your car after a massage, which is not fun for everybody, So my main goal is keeping it safe, keeping you safe, and keeping you guys aware of your bodies, so that you can be your best therapist later. And of course, I'll have to offer as much healing and relaxation as I can.
Yay! Well, thank you all for coming up here. Definitely, if you haven't talked to them, definitely stop by and say hi to them. And yeah, definitely book with them. They've really changed my life, and I know they can change so many more. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right, now we're on to the water. A little bit later on, I'll have some of my team members come up here and just introduce themselves. I'm sure you've met some of them as well. A lot of my team is not here. They're like out of state, out of country. And some of them just couldn't make it today. So we are getting bigger and bigger. But as we say, we're going to talk a lot about water. And I never knew how important water was until I started drinking this water. But we always say if you change your water, it's going to change your life. So a little bit about me, my story. So I've been through a lot of different jobs. I've been through a lot of different things. I used to be an entrepreneur in a different business a long time ago. It was actually called Cutco, and made it so high up and realized that it just wasn't for me. There was like a stopping point, and unfortunately, it was just like a low ticket item. I still have my Cutco knives, still love them, but I knew I was meant for something more. And something close to my heart is I just wanted to help other people. So through school, I went to vet tech school, and through school, I actually worked in Twin Peaks, multiple restaurants, did a lot of modeling. and just still like nothing was satisfying me. So I became a vet tech, and I did 7 years of it, actually all the way through specializing in oncology. Loved it, loved helping the cancer patients. And recently I actually got fired. I was very burnt out. I had a lot going on, and I didn't agree with a lot of Western medicine and what they had to offer, especially after what happened with me. So I was a patient myself. I was sick for 6 years. I struggled. I went to 14 specialists. I spent over $42,000 after insurance. I had medications, infusions. I was diagnosed with lupus, fibromyalgia, and gastritis. So with lupus, it's an autoimmune condition where your body just starts attacking itself, and it's systemically, meaning inside. And so all my organs and everything were super mad. My symptoms included migraines. I had migraines every single day. I had fatigue. I had brain fog. Like sometimes there were days where I'm like, geez, when's my birthday? Like what's going on? And I had acid reflux really bad. And I couldn't eat food. Like I couldn't enjoy, Italian dishes, Mexican dishes, anything spicy. And so it came down to me just eating plain white rice, avocados, and chicken with, salt and pepper. In 2016, I ended up losing my gallbladder because it got blocked, and that was one of the worst pains that I've ever felt. When the sludge got stuck, they had to go in and remove it. The recovery was really horrible. Lupus, actually, when COVID started happening, they started giving our medication away to COVID patients because they said that it was treating them. So then I started having to get chemo and stuff and IVs. So I was miserable. I was sad. I was in my 20s. This ranged from 21 to 26. And I was in and out of hospitals. My mom was there, thankfully, every step of the way, but it was crying, it was scared. And if you've all been in a hospital before, it's really scary, and you never know what they're going to give you, what's going on. It's very chaotic. And I just didn't want to live my life like that anymore. I had 3 major hip surgeries, one being last year, because I was in a really bad car accident in 2017. And so my body had been through a lot, of pain, but I recently came across this water through TikTok. And it was a gentleman named Thomas, who was a complete stranger at the time. But I kept seeing like, oh, alkalized water, this water, the pH, and I was like, whatever. Like I was drinking Smart Water and Kirkland bottled water because I just thought that was great. It tasted great. That was what was offered. And went to California. Ended up drinking multiple gallons while I was there. And I remember to this day being so nervous about going to the Italian restaurant with my friends. I was like, there's no way. I was like, I'm going to have to just eat bread, butter, plain noodles, something very simple, because if not, I'm going to pay the price later. And for those of you, like that may struggle with something similar, constantly having to be scared and being next to a toilet all the time, like it's not the funnest thing, and it's not anything anybody should ever have to go through, but that was my life. So I was drinking this water, and my family is like, what the heck are you doing? You're carrying around this jug. Like, what is that? And I'm like, I don't know. This guy told me to drink the water. We'll see how it goes. I went to the Italian restaurant. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pay the price, and I'm just going to eat whatever. So started eating like marinara, just fully went in. And that night I come home and I'm like, wait, like I have no stomach pain. There's no acid reflux. There's no like me being nauseous and wanting to vomit. I was like, what's going on? I was like, I'm at sea level. This is why. Maybe I just need to go down lower. So the whole time there, energy's coming back, my brain fog's going away. Like I felt like a millionaire. I was like, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. I come back and I started drinking Smart Water again, and just boom, everything comes back. So I call this guy. I'm like, hey, how do I get my hands on this? I was like, I think this might be my answer. And he had to get really real with me. He's like, well, if you don't buy this, like, how much are you going to go into debt? How much more are you going to spend with all these medical providers? And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, but I'm going to get it, and I'm going to find a way. My credit score at the time was like in the 500s because of all the medical debt I was in. I said, I don't have really that much money, but he worked it out with me and found a payment plan for myself. And it's been ever since the greatest purchase. Within 2 weeks, I was off of all my GI medications. I could eat whatever I wanted. Within 3 months, so I ended up getting the shower and the supplement, which we'll talk more about soon. But I was able to get off of all my medications for lupus, for fibromyalgia, all the infusions. And I said, you know what? I know I'm feeling this way. I just want to make sure this isn't a placebo. So I'm going to go ahead and go get my blood work done. So after all the brain scans, the infusions, the hospitalizations, the migraines, people don't talk about this, but when you get an ECG, this is one of the most painful things I think I've ever been through. To put each lead on, they have to scrape parts of your head, and then they stick this glue, and you're there for like hours. It's horrible. The infusions were horrible, had reactions, back in the hospital. So thankfully, I had many friends and family not only come to the hospital, but came to my house too. Angie was one of them. And I was just really grateful for that. But here it is. Here's how it all started. So these are my results before I drank the water. And the funny thing is how I found out I had lupus was actually looking at my tooth. The dentist found it. So nobody could give me answers for like years. They're like, we don't know what's wrong with you. You're just a hypochondriac. I'm like, no, like I'm 21 and shouldn't have to feel like this. So they sent it off to a specialist. The specialist, came back and said, you have an autoimmune problem. Like, what? So that's when I went to the doctor. They do an ANA blood test. And so it'll come back high if you have an autoimmune condition. Doctor thought I was still hypochondriac. She's like, nope, like, this is just all made up. I said, you know what, I'm going somewhere else. So I did. I went to a rheumatologist. My iron levels were significantly low, no matter how much supplements or whatever I would take. I mean, I was at like a 4%, 22, and a 6. Like, not fun. So, started drinking water. This is a message from my rheumatologist. So she has seen me for lupus. She was diagnosed in 2020, had symptoms of pain, fatigue, malaise, rashes, goes on and on. These are all my blood work results. They started all coming back normal because this water returns your body to origin. So when I went from a level of 6 on my ferritin, as you saw on the other slide, started drinking the water, 138, back to normal. Same with my iron. I was at a 4, and now I'm at a 31. And I was like, there's no way. This is happening? What? This is the ANA, as you can see here, all normal. And so my doctor, she's like, oh, so your medications are working. I was like, actually, I haven't been on anything for like 3 months. She's like, her jaw just dropped. She goes, what are you doing? And I told her all about it. I was like, I just started drinking this different water, got a shower, got a supplement, everything was gone. So that really confirmed things for me. And I just knew like I had to share this with everybody that I knew because of how much I was suffering. Then started taking the Ukon. The Ukon's like turmeric on steroids. Basically, I used to also have what was called PCOS. So I had cysts all over my ovaries since I was like 12. And I had to go and get ultrasounds every single year. Well, I freaked out because this was my other result of bilateral ovaries appear with PCOS. I went in, and all of a sudden, there's nothing on the left ovary. And I was like, what? There must be a mistake. So I called my doctor. Like, did you guys mess up? Did you not type, the cysts on there? And she was like, no, like they're gone. I was like, what? And I was like, well, how do you make of this? And she's like, I don't know. You're young. And I was like, no, this is no way, no way. So then I started talking to other women in the community, and theirs started disappearing too through this supplement. So this water has done so many things for so many people. Angie, I met her through my mutual friend Dylan, and I'll never forget this day. We come over, we're coming to do the presentation, and she's a workaholic, so she's over there just doing her business. She's like, yeah, I don't have time. And I started mentioning my story and how I was struggling with acid reflux. And she goes, wait, what? And she had a bottle of Tums sitting on her desk. And so she started drinking this water, and she saw the whole presentation. She was like, I have to get this, but let me try it, you know? So she tried it. And within 3 days, this was her testimony when I came back to give her more. I can't hear it. I'll turn it up more. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Working on the volume of things. There we go. Hey. No. No, it's still. Well, since she's here, why don't you go ahead and tell your story?
After just drinking one of the big, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I literally could swallow a piece of steak that night. I was like, I'm gonna try because I didn't have heartburn, and I typically all day, every day, I would have heartburn and I could not swallow my food. It would get stuck. So every time I'd take a drink, the food would be sitting there and the water would be floating like down low in my chest. So after drinking the water, I no longer have that. Like it's gone. So it healed me. And I tell everybody about it. So it will definitely help you if you have acid reflux. Because I was on so many medications and nothing helped. So that's when she said that, I was like, really?
The purple box.
Really?
Yeah. All the
Everything. I
things.
just carried Tums everywhere I went.
Oh, yeah. So it does incredible things. I remember she sends me a video later on that night. She goes, I swallowed a piece of steak. Then the next day, I ate a peanut butter sandwich. Like she was.
I haven't been able to eat that for years.
So she was so excited, so happy. And I was just so happy for her. And it just does miracles for people. I mean,
It's for like the first 3 months, I would go to her house about twice a week and fill up like 15 jugs. And I was like, I just need to buy myself a machine. And after I bought that machine, I had more access to all the waters because I would just go get the 9.5. Now I'm like, I'm addicted. I use it for everything. It's my drug.
so Mom here. So that's Maj and Anna came to one of these. They actually brought well water and spring water all the way up from the mountains. So they were like loading jugs every single time and drinking that water. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, what? And they're like, well, this is like the best of the best. And I was like, all right, let me test it. So at the time I had all the things and I started testing their water and they were like, what? I'm like, yeah, like by the time it gets all the way down here, like it's dead. It's not living anymore. They also have a cleaning business, as he mentioned. So they use a lot of the different waters to do all their cleaning now. So they're saving a lot of money on more of holistic products. And then last but not least, my mom's story is on here. Hopefully we can hear it. If not, I'll bring you on up here. Yeah, so her story is incredible. And I'm so happy she started drinking this water. So I just want to cut it off right there because fortunately, me and my mom got into a car accident and immediately they started testing her kidneys. Do you want to share a little bit about the results at the hospital?
Yeah, so I had to actually read over. They did do a CT scan on both of us and some X-rays. I still have stones in there. They kind of just sit in there. But if you're eating wrong or drinking a lot of soda or something, they'll start to go filter through to your bladder, and that's where the pain comes in. But I know I have some in there. I don't know what the poly looks like because I didn't want the polycystic renal part, the cysts that are on my kidneys. I know they saw a few of them, but I didn't do the what do they call that, Janae? The
Contrast.
contrast on it because I'm kind of allergic to it now.
So the big thing that came back though is your blood work. So a couple of values in medicine that they check is your BUN and your creatinine for your kidneys. And normally hers were so elevated they were skyrocketing and it all came back normal. My mom hasn't had normal blood work in I don't even know how long, years. So I just wanted to share that because I remember her saying that and I was like, wait, did they give me something in my IV or am I really, am I hearing this right? So I'm really happy. My whole family was so skeptical of this whole thing. But moving on, this next person. So she's one of my friends. She lives in California. Her and her husband, that's the reason why she originally brought, because she just had suffered from that for so long. And there's just been there's so many testimonies out there. You could name something and I could give you one. So moving forward, this is really interesting. So there is a doctor out in Japan. His name is Dr. Hiromi Shinya. He has multiple books. They're incredible. They teach you a lot, but it's mostly with this water. So he actually will not work with patients unless they are willing to drink this water. So that's his first step in anything, because he really believes in the miracles of this. So what he actually does is he does colonoscopies and endoscopes and really identifies, what people's colons look like before, what they look like after. And before I show you these images, they're kind of gnarly. So if you're a little queasy, I wouldn't look. But this is a patient before drinking the Kangen water with the colonoscopy and then after. So most people's colons actually look like this because of the amount of inflammation of what we're putting into our body. This is the next one. This is actually a prostate cancer patient. And then this is before drinking the water. This is 3 months after drinking it. They went and rescoped him. So this is where Dr. Shinya, he starts first, and then he goes from there. For everybody else that's like, I need the science, I need the proof, you know, there is so much proof and science out there. You want the scientific name of this water? It's actually electrolyzed reduced water. This is on PubMed. This is on so many different things. You can look, there's a neuroprotective, there's diabetes, like my dad. He's type 2. And I mean, you could just see him, like his weight, and you could just start seeing his bones, and he was just like suffering. He didn't feel good. But he's such a strong guy, like he doesn't, you know, talk about that. So then I started telling him, like, you need to drink this. And he started drinking it, and all of his weight and stuff started coming back, and he just started feeling so much better. There's anti-aging and fertility with this, the oxidative stress, which we'll get into. But if you guys are ever curious, there are so many journals, so many research they've done with this water. So we do believe where, you know, people worldwide have access to clean water, and there are a lot of celebrities and athletes that actually drink this water. One of them being Kevin Hart. You're going to see a video. He's actually on a podcast just talking about it, but here's a little something. So he's just won. Bryson DeChambeau, if you're into golf like me, it's funny, he just won, and he posted all over his stories like, this is the water I drink, because people were asking about it. Here's some more. Here's a whole list of people, whether that's celebrities, athletes, medical people that all drink this water. So yeah, look it up. They just don't talk about it because they're like millionaires. They don't need to really do this, but the Kardashians, they have like 16 machines. One of my buddies, Jason Wessler, he sold 6 machines to celebrities. So, you know, they all are on it. It's just funny when we get clips of them talking about it. So what are the different types of waters? We have tap water, we have filtered water, we have bottled RO water, which is reverse osmosis water. We got bottled, and we have other ionizers in the world too, right? So like, what's wrong with all these other ones? Well, tap water, unfortunately, here in Colorado, we used to have decent. But in October of 2022, they decided to change that. And they started to go to recycled wastewater. So for anybody that's drinking tap water, you can actually go to ewg.org, type in your zip code, and it's going to give you everything that's in there. Oh, can somebody let Pukar in? He's trapped. Yeah, there's chlorine, there's bromine, there's fluoride. I mean, there's scary things. I even looked up in mine, and I got really scared. They actually just did a news special the other day. My mom brought it up about PFAS and how Colorado's water is getting really, really bad because we have to source it to so many people, and the change they made has really damaged a lot of it. Filtered water, so it's polluted, contaminated, it's partially like cleaned up. Distilled in RO. So the problem with distilled in RO is that not only does it take out all the bad, but you're taking out all the good. So all your minerals and everything, they actually use this for people that are doing dialysis with their kidneys because of how acidic it is and the structure of it. Bottled water is becoming a problem. There's microplastics and contaminations and things. It's dead as well. So Fiji water is one of the best, but by the time it gets to us, thousands and thousands of miles later, it's all dead. It's not the same. And then there's other ionizers. So there's Tyant, there's a bunch of other guys. They just don't have the same plates as we have. They don't have the same medical device that we have. So there's actually 663 million people in the world that live without clean water. And in Denver, Colorado, through the Denver Water Board, there's 1,362,000 of us that do. So I pulled up the zip code in Denver of 80123. This is that website you can go to, ewg.org, if you're curious. Just put in your zip code. It's going to show you everything. And these are the contaminants that are over what's safe for us. So not even all of them that are in there, but what is not safe. There's 11 of them that exceed EWG health guidelines. So there's arsenic, there's chloroform, there's some things in here I can't even pronounce, radium. It's really scary once you start looking into it. So the company, Mr. Oshiro, I've personally met. He's incredible. So has Rocio. Rocio actually got on stage with him. Go you. He doesn't speak a speck of English because he's our CEO from Japan. So this is where this machine is made. A bunch of our team members actually just went and got to go through the whole tour of the factory and everything. So it was founded in 1974. So a bunch of them went out to Japan because we're actually 50 years into this, right? So the machines have came a really long way. We are a member of the Water Quality Association. We're OEM. Does anybody know what OEM is? Any of my engineers, anything? No? Okay. So it's original equipment manufacturer. You knew what it was, though? Okay. Yeah. So basically, you can't go and get the parts from like a third party. So like you'll notice like Amazon, eBay, other people like Tyant, they'll go and just grab parts from wherever. Nope, this is all inspected by a very specific one factory, people looking at it left and right and really putting every piece into the machine, getting it from the source. So we've expanded everywhere. Not only are we in the US, but we are in South America, we're in Australia, we're in, starting to come into Africa here soon. Europe is blowing up. One of you guys saw Bree, her husband Gio, he's actually blown up Italy. He's in UK today. So we're just sharing this with all over the world. These are just some of the certifications, recognitions that this machine has. And here's that WQA. So you'll see machines with this one, but it's really hard to get. But this is the only one that has this so far. Like Tyant and all of them, they don't have it. But my favorite one is actually what's called the ISO 13485. So does anybody know what ISOs are? Donnie? No? Okay. Yeah. So basically, this specific certification is so hard to get. This is what makes this device a medical registered device in Japan. And for those of you that don't know, it's actually more difficult to get it registered in Japan versus America. It takes them 7 years to even be introduced to it. So when we go and we fly around the world to the airports, that's how we can take our machines. That's how we can take our water through TSA because of this certification. And they can't say or do anything about it. So there it is. I bring a whole gallon with me every single time. So does Angie. We bring our machine as a carry-on. Rocio brings her water, my mom. So we're always bringing it. And it's funny because sometimes they will give you a hard time. Like, no, there's no way. I'm like, here's my certification. This is medical grade. And then they do like a quick little vapor test and it passes. Yeah.
2 slides prior to this one.
Uh-huh.
This certificate.
Uh-huh.
It seems that nobody really understands the benefit of this particular water except the people within an adjunct.
Right.
So who's giving out this gold seal?
So the Water Quality Association gives this particular seal out.
So who exactly is giving this? Because it seems to me that municipalities and so forth don't understand what good water is.
Right.
So how do they understand that an adjunct is actually
good question.
water?
Yeah, so in order to get the Water Quality Association certificate, it has to go through all of this testing at their facility. So they have their own facility where you're saying, hey, I want to qualify my water under you guys. What does it have to go through? They have to go through all this like testing and machines and all these things in order for it to get this seal. And then these ones, oh, go
They're
ahead.
located in the US, these people, or?
I believe so, but I will double check on that because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. I don't know if they're all over the world or if it's just US. Oh, international. So they're international trade association. And then up here, like they have the water treatment industry where you can go and bring it. So Enagic's the only one that's an ionizer that has this seal. So none of the other ionizers, Tyant and all of them, they've brought it, but it hasn't gotten this seal. And there's reasons. And then these ones, did you have any questions about these ones?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I do have a general question though, the difference between the ionization process of this and an ozonator process for water.
Oh, so the ozonators, so those are like newer, correct? Or no?
Like most hot tubs come with them now, so you don't have to put many chemicals in and so forth. But ozone, it's a light that actually is, as the water passes through the light, it's purifying the water.
I don't know anything about that. Ah.
Yeah. Okay.
No minerals.
Yeah.
Just that dead water in them.
Uh,
Nothing left in it.
okay. Thanks for bringing that up. I didn't know about that. I'll look more into that. And yeah, if you're saying it, it's distilled like Sage says, it's just taking out everything, not only the bad but the good. So that's probably why they use it in like hot tubs and stuff. Yeah. But like to drink that, it's going to be really acidic. Next, so these are the three products. We have the K8, and we have multiple machines. There's ones that are bigger for our chefs, for our cafes, stuff like that. We have the Anespa, which is a shower, and then we have the Ukon. The Ukon comes in 3 different products, comes in the supplements, the soap, and then the tea as well. So I have all of them and love all of them. So the human body is 72% water. Breaking it down for you guys, this is how much of what? Brain, muscles, bones, fat, of what consists of water in your body. And this is the K8. So this is the one that you see over here. This is the one that Angie and Rocio has. Rocio has 2. She has one below this one and then this one. A lot of people I know have this one just because it's a little bit more easy to use because it has that touch screen. It does its self-cleaning. And then it's really smart too. So it talks to you. And yeah, multiple languages, so you can switch it up, change it. But it's called the K8 because it has 8 electric plates, whereas the model below this one only has 7. So if you're really looking for those health benefits, this is one of the reasons why. It makes 7 different types of water, and then voltage and everything. It has universal power. Moving on. So this is the science, all right? And some of this is above me, but I have friends and doctors that can really go into detail, explain this fully. So basically, there's blue zones in the world where lightning naturally strikes the water. Has anybody heard of those blue zones? Yeah. So like on Netflix, there's a special with Zac Efron and the water guy, and they go into detail. They were at one of those blue zones. And my friends have visited this. People bathe in it. People drink it for their healing properties. But this is the exchange that the machine does. So here's a metal plate, and exactly all the science of the hydrogen, the oxygen, and everything that it exchanges it through that. So here's the miracle water in the world, and when they started and all the locations. But what's most important is it contains active hydrogen, which we'll go into soon. So the main 3 properties of this machine and the health benefits for you all is antioxidation, superior hydration, and alkalization. So there's alkaline and there's alkalized. Ours is alkalized. So oxidation. Has anybody heard of antioxidants? Does anybody take anything for antioxidants? Eat anything? Yeah, what do you take or eat?
Blueberries are the best. Sometimes the antioxidants and any other natural blueberries. Also, cilantro is just a really great detoxifier. My aunt is hardcore. She does smoothie and it's just coconut water, a bunch of cilantro, and like about a cup of blueberries. It's kind of gross. I can't do it, but it's supposed to really detoxify heavy metals and stuff. But
Wow.
mostly just food sources. No supplements, just from your food. It's the best place to get any antioxidants.
Wow. Okay, anybody else take blueberries, eat blueberries? I eat blueberries. Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. So oxidation, right? It's that rusting process. You leave that apple, that banana, that avocado, you know, it starts turning brown, right? Because the air is aging us, it's oxidized. Antioxidants, you know, anti-aging. So that's why a lot of people go for those antioxidants, blueberries, stuff like that. Fun fact, if you actually take 4 cups of blueberries, it's the same amount of antioxidants as 1 glass of our water. So here's a little scale for you of what the different levels are, right? So positive, we don't want positive, right? That's what's aging us. That's all those yummy foods, you know, ice cream, burgers, pizza, all the acidic stuff, sodas, sports drinks, you know, I'll get into that in a little bit, bottled water, and we'll see. But green tea, vitamin C, usually at like a negative 100. Has anybody had cod liver oil? And how does it taste? Yeah. So you can get that with like a negative 250. Our machine can go all the way to negative 700 to 800. So that's the value of the oxidation. I'm going to play you a quick video of this lady who's going to test with her ORP meter, and then we'll be right back. And it stopped. I don't know what happened. I accidentally lost my ORP meter, so that's why I was showing this lady do it, unfortunately. But I love to like go and test people's waters. When I get it fresh out of the tap, it's usually like negative 700 and negative 800. Hers was sitting out a little bit longer. But we're about to do a lot of stuff with the water. This is the molecular hydrogen. So when you guys pour your water fresh, this is what you're going to see. This is how water should look when it's living, right? So when you get it from bottled water, you don't ever see that because it's all dead. Usually this goes away within 3 to 4 days. So that's why when I am sharing water with people, we make sure that we supply them after 3 to 4 days. But I love it. It's just fun. It's cool to know that you're drinking it like that. The cooler part about this water, more to the science, is that it's micro-clustered. So with that being said, it tests things in your like cells and stuff. So normally most water is macro-clustered. It's big, it's dead, and it can't get into your cell. Does anybody ever feel like if they drink a bunch of water and they constantly have to drink, they have to go to the bathroom all the time? Yeah. So it's because it's just going straight through you, right? It's not entering into any of your cells because of how big it is. And this is kind of the difference, right? So this is the macro clustered, this is the micro clustered, and it's just different concept of molecules, and then it enters into your cells where it can penetrate. I'm gonna have Rocio get us some of the water. Can you get me some of the 9.5, please? Nice. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. So to test this theory, right? So we're going to use some green tea today. So the tea bag is your body. Inside is your cells, right? So our cells are inside of our body. I'm going to do 2 different ones. You guys can kind of see. Does anybody drink green tea in here? Yeah. Oh, everybody. All right, we're getting those antioxidants, right? All right. So normally, does anybody drink bottled water in here? It's okay. I do. Yeah. All right. I used to. So I'm just going to use, does anybody drink one of these in here? Dasani.
Arrowhead, I think. I forgot which ones I bought.
Aquafina. Okay. Anybody else? Aquafina? Anybody? Okay. Well, we'll just use Dasani, or I like to call it dishonest. Thank you. Appreciate it. So with Dasani, right? So normally to make green tea, what do you have to have? Hot water. Exactly. So we know, normally Dasani and all that, it's not going to do anything, right? But since Kangen water has microclustering, it makes instant green tea. So that's your body and your cells and how it penetrates the cells in your body. So what's even cooler, like Maj said, you have to be really careful when you are taking supplements with this water because it likes to enhance everything. So people take, pre-workout and stuff. Don't take it with the 9.5. Otherwise, like he said, you'll be up for days, and it's not fun. So if I go ahead and just put a little bit of green tea in here, I just want to show you the difference. So if I take Dasani again, okay, normally why people have to take a lot of supplements all the time, a lot, is because all this water is doing is diluting it in your body, right? But when you take it with the Kangen water, you're going to enhance it. See the difference? So that's just a little fun test I like to show everybody just because of what the water can do in your own body. Next, so this is where the fun comes, is alkaline versus alkalized, right? So has anybody heard of like Essentia body armor? Yeah. Okay, so they're getting really creative and they're trying to say bottled water is alkaline, which they're correct, right? Because if we actually come back here in the ingredients and we're looking, purified water by reverse osmosis takes all the good out, but it has sodium bicarbonate. Does anybody know what that is? Nice. Oh my goodness. All right. So yeah, baking soda. So that's what they're putting in the water to make it alkaline. So when your doctor says alkaline water is not good for you, they're absolutely correct. I'm going to show you why. So we have a little bit of Essentia. And fun fact. So you guys just learned about ORP. See how this is a positive? This has a positive reading. But people automatically think, oh, it's just for health. It's like a cross. No. So they're really good at marketing things. So here's my Essentia. I'm going to put Kangen water in this one. Okay. All I'm gonna have right here is just some pH drops. I'm gonna show you guys the pH. So we have our Essentia. All right, so we get that dark purple, right? We have our Kangen water. We have that dark purple. Now, if I were to take these two straws and blow carbon dioxide into it, so this is what happens when it enters your body. Let's see the structure of both, right? I'm just gonna pull these up so you guys can see. All right, so as you see, its true colors came out. Now on a pH scale, if we're looking at this, right? So the more acidic things are, the lighter color we're gonna get. The more alkaline or alkalized it is, we're gonna go over here. It's alkalized because it's electrically charged, it's not chemically made. So there's your difference with that. So testing some of these other ones, does anybody drink Fiji before? I used to drink it. Anybody? No? All right, Smart Water. Oh, this used to be my favorite. And I used to like the little bottle cap one because I just thought that was fun. Arrowhead. I don't know why I never liked it. I thought it always tasted like dirt. I don't know if anybody else thought the same. Gatorade. Does anybody drink Gatorade? Pedialyte? Yeah, great. So there's a reason why all the athletes dump it on each other instead of drinking it. And I didn't know this because I was an athlete myself. Sparkling water, anybody? This used to be my go-to. Yeah, yep. So I was a sparkling water Sprite girl all the time. So we're just going to see the pH of all of these. This one's like neutral for Fiji. Whoa, we got Smart Water coming in pretty acidic. We have Arrowhead, like a blue. That's actually kind of shocking. Gatorade, we have very acidic. Sparkling water, very acidic. Sprite, super acidic. I'm just gonna okay. So we have Fiji right here. We have Smart Water. We have Arrowhead. It's actually one of the best Arrowheads I've seen in a while. Gatorade. Sparkling water. And Sprite. Man, I used to love sparkling water and Sprite. All right, so when you change your water, you're going to change your life, right? So I have Fiji right here. You start to give yourself this water.
That'll blow your mind. This will blow your mind. It blew my mind.
Do you mind filling up another one for me? Please and thank you. 9.5, please. But this is where it gets kind of scary, right? So when you start getting your acidic things, anything like Gatorade, I used to drink this when I was sick, along with Pedialyte. Nothing starts happening. Sparkling water. All right, everybody watch really closely. Did you guys see that? So it tries to change, but it's so acidic, it can't. All right, was that Sprite? Is this Sprite? This is Sprite. Sprite just dilutes it. So normally for an 8-ounce Sprite or something that's carbonated like this, you're going to need 4 gallons of this water in order to reverse the effects that it does to your body. So I haven't had carbonation since I got the machine. A server accidentally got it or gave it to me, and my whole body was like, oh, and hurt for a while. So it can do so much in such a little amount of time. But yeah, you would need 4 gallons of this to reverse just 8-ounce soda. All right, next. Yes. Correct. Yes, carbonation in general. Let's see here. So this is one of our favorite waters that Angie's always carrying a shot around with her. You'll find her with one. This is the 2.5, and I like to use this one too. This is off of Dr. Michael Donaldson's website. Love it. And this is researched in PubMed. All the Japanese hospitals use this to disinfect everything. Their instruments, their bedding. I mean, it kills things. You spray it, 15 seconds. Sage had a sty in her eye. She's like, hey, can I have some of the 2.5? Sprayed it in her eye, completely normal. It's safe. It's not going to hurt you. I've had food poisoning. I think, Angie, you have too. Take a shot, 2.5, 11.5, you're on your way. I do use this on my face as a toner too, but I'm going to start passing this around, and I just want you guys to smell. Don't say it yet, but tell me what you think it smells like. You want to smell it too? Okay, keep it in your mind, keep it in your mind. You've smelled it, you've smelled it. Get around here. Think about it. Very familiar smell, maybe. I loved her reaction.
Oh, yeah.
You already know. All right. Start shouting out loud what this smells like or what's familiar. Bleach, chlorine. Anybody else? Same thing. Yeah. So with bleach or chlorine, could you go like this? No. So this stuff is completely safe, and I love it because you can just spray it on everything and it just disinfects everything. They actually did a research with COVID that it killed it within 15 seconds as well. It's deodorant? What? All right. It does. Okay. Okay. See, I learned new things. There's so many things to this machine. So these are the Japanese hospitals, if you guys want to know, that use this machine there, and how they disinfect, how they use it for their patients to help heal them. And these are some of the missions that Enagic has done. So we've been involved with multiple hurricanes. Here's some examples of the machine and the water that they keep underneath all their instruments, how we've given back, how we can hook it up, and people just start helping people. The beauty water. This is one of my favorites. So you all got one. If you want to go ahead and just take it. Did you get one? Okay. Just take it and just start spraying it. I mean, I do this every day. Rocio actually uses this as her hair conditioner.
Stop using conditioner because of all the chemicals and how bad it would be. Yeah, it works just as good. Yeah.
So your hair and your skin loves a different pH on the outside than the inside. So that's why those whole house systems don't really benefit one or the other. You got to have different things for different properties. Some of the other things you can use it for is your plants. This is what plants love, is the 6.0. I was telling Picard to wash his glasses with it, because I do with mine too. Windows, no streaks. All right, this is my other favorite, is the 11.5. So this is the strong alkaline water. So with the strong alkaline water, we have a problem in the world. The problem is pesticides and everything that they spray on our produce. So has anybody ever gone to the store, they're eating a tomato or fruit, and you just feel this weird stuff? Anyway, yeah? So does anybody use like vinegar, baking soda? Great. And then what kind of water do we normally use, right? Tap water, okay? So I want to show you guys a little experiment here with our tomatoes. And I do this with all my fruits and veggies. Same with my mom, Angie, Rocio. Oh, we just bought these today, and some of these are looking kind of scary. right? So I have the 11.5 right here. You'll see me have these spray bottles because I just use it for everything. But I'm going to soak this one on the right with the 11.5. Normally we use tap water, but I'm going to use a little something fancier. We're going to use some Fiji today. So we got a lot of it. And we're just going to let those soak. While those are soaking, so most of us clean our produce off with tap water. I want to show you guys the horrors of chlorine in Colorado. So if you don't mind getting me some tap water. Actually, can you get me some in here too, please? Both of these. Thank you. Does anybody shower with our tap water? Anybody? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I used to too. I had no idea. So right here, just gonna be some chlorine drops, all right? So I just want to show you guys, if this water, this tap water turns yellow, we have chlorine in our water. Give it a good mix. All right, you guys start seeing that turn yellow? All right. So what normally happens is we soak our produce. Where did I put the other one? Well, oh, I was like, I lost it. We soak our produce, we wash our face, we shower in this stuff. So I'm just gonna have Rocio be my lucky contestant and just put her hand in this and just leave it in there. So chlorine and everything that's going in there, we're gonna show you a little experiment. What happens? Also tested this with lettuce, which is interesting too. It's really scary. This one's fun. Give it a couple more seconds. All right. So her hand, all right, in here. I'm gonna take chlorine drops. Where did all the chlorine go? It's in her hand. So that's how fast and rapid that chlorine will soak into something. Whether that's lettuce.
Yeah, lift your other one up chlorine next to it.
Oh shoot. See. This one's starting to turn, but if you just keep leaving your hand in there, it's gonna keep going.
Our hands have a 90% absorption rate. So you guys know, good thing we don't taste buds.
No kidding.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
So now, moving under our produce, right? Thank you, Sage. That's a great fact. I didn't know that. So this was our lovely Fiji. This one is our 11.5. Just want to show you guys something. So here's our Fiji water. Most of us use tap water, you know, vinegar, baking soda. Nothing's coming off, right? And who knows, you know, what's in that water, what just went into our produce. I want to show you what comes off with the 11.5. So what's scary, right? So all those guys in those yellow hazmat suits, this is why, right? They're spraying all our produce and everything with the 11.5. And I would think if we're able to eat something, we shouldn't have to go around in hazmat suits. So this takes it off. And a lot of those pesticides are oil-based. Normally I'll have you guys eat these tomatoes, but we just bought these today and they did not look good. But normally you can tell a difference. Angie's son Joey, I remember doing this for him, and he tried one versus the other, and he doesn't like tomatoes. He's like, absolutely not eating that. Only in Italy. There's a reason why for that too. And he ate one after I took it off with the 11.5. He goes, oh my gosh, this tastes just like Italy. I love tomatoes again. So to this day, does he use the 11.5 and try? No. Oh, we moved out. Okay. But sure. So when we just did the chlorine experiment, taking a shower, soaking in a bath, hot tub, swimming pool for 15 minutes can actually absorb as much chlorine as drinking 1 quart of the same water. So when Dr. Michael told us all this, we were all like, oh my gosh, like we're all showering in this? What, So what can chlorine cause, right? We got thyroid, skin cancer, rash, eczema, psoriasis, acne, hair loss, and fibromyalgia. So why my fibromyalgia really hurt and was painful, that's why I started to invest in the NS spa. This is actually Dr. Michael himself. I actually didn't recognize him because after he started using the NS spa, all his hair started growing back. So a lot of men start losing their hair because of the chlorine in the water. So this is the NS spa. The reason why it's so great is because it has an internal and an external filter. So in the internal filter, you're actually getting those rocks from Japan. And from Japan, this is a hot springs that's over 300 years old, where they collect them and they put them in your shower. So when you start to shower, it feels like you're in a hot springs, and they're known for all their healing properties. While the external takes out all your chlorine, the bacteria, stuff like that causes irritation to your body, your hair, your skin. And then a lot of my friends have gone to this and have just said, wow, like the NS spa truly feels like this, but this is like, maxed out because there's so many of those rocks. But I love my NS spa. Last but not least is the Ukon. So this is what helped me with my PCOS, inflammation, pain. Like if people are just suffering, these supplements are really great. But what I didn't know, does anybody take turmeric in here right now? Yeah. What kind of turmeric are you guys taking? Is it like ground, root, grounded? Both? Homegrown. Wow. Okay. Nice. So Dr. Michael Donson taught me, unfortunately, once turmeric is exposed to air and light, it oxidizes within 48 hours. So it loses all of its properties. So what this is it's a capsule. It's grown with the Kangen water in the fields, and they encapsulate it to protect it. And it's actually in a foil wrapping in here so that it doesn't get exposed to the light. So that's why we call it turmeric on steroids, because you can take up to 5 per day. I have a buddy, Justin, he was here last time. He ended up taking 10 because he had this really weird problem with his neck and a couple of his vertebrae. I don't know where Josh went, but he would know. He would basically walk around like this, and he couldn't talk, he couldn't move, he couldn't even look at you. When I first met him, he got the Ukon, started taking it, and now he's like a normal human being. So this really helped him because of all the inflammation and everything in your body. Me and my brother noticed, because Colorado has really a lot of things out here and we get really bad allergies. This actually helps us. So we used to be on like Claritin, Allegra, all of that. Now we just take Ukon. We're like, oh, are you having, you sneezy and stuff? We just pop a couple and then we're done. The soap is honey and turmeric. I really love this stuff. It makes your skin really soft and there's no chemicals in it, which is really nice. And then the tea is the same as the capsule, just in a tea form. So sometimes if I'm really not feeling good, I bust open one of those with the Kangen water. It's really good. By the way, Kangen water with tea and coffee, life-changing. I'm a coffee freak.
Why would you need soap with the cleaning properties?
So I like the soap personally just because it has turmeric and it has honey, so it makes my skin really soft and it takes some of that inflammation or the acne or whatever I'm having going on off. I don't think our machine technically produces a soap, but the 6.0 you can use as like a hair conditioner.
So is that soap made with like the Babylonian modification process, that they would make the real healthy old-fashioned soaps out of?
Don't know that process. What exactly is that?
It's like emulsifying fats, basically.
Oh, I don't know. All I know is it has turmeric and honey in it. So I don't know any further than that, but we can definitely look into that for you.
It's not really
Yeah.
It's just barely, kind of explaining it, like, I've been using the Nest Spa because of our accident, and I'm feeling so much better, but it's not like, when we get a bar soap, bubbly, sudsy, it's not like that. You just have a little bit, it's just barely any.
Like old Castile soap.
Yeah, or
is
something.
made that way.
Oh.
That's like really the healthiest.
Yeah, and feel
soaps
free
that
to
people
open
use
it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Look
pass
at
it around.
And smell it, and
Feel
it smells
free.
wonderful, and it
Feel free to
feels
open it.
wonderful.
Look at it. And you had a question as well?
So, when you heat the water up, does that change the pH?
Yeah, it changes the structure of the hydrogen. So the hydrogen, when you do boil it, it gets slightly depleted, but it's still active. But the coolest part that we found is when you actually go to boil it, it boils fast because of the active hydrogen.
It's really hot, like when you do artichoke. It's very good.
Oh,
Or it's so hot, after you get out.
oh wow.
I don't even put salt in the water anymore. No, it bubbles like so good. Boils right away. It's amazing.
But as far as the pH, I'm not sure. I haven't.
Like if you're gonna make hot tea. Well,
Uh-huh.
there's a, on the machine, it so shows you which one you should use for it.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Nine,
Yep. The
says
9.0. The 9.0 is typically the best, but I honestly make my tea with 9.5 because I'm so used to the water and I want to get the most out of the flavoring. The machine also has a pH setting where you can increase it too. So like if it does technically deplete it, which I haven't experienced, you can increase the pH on the machine.
It doesn't matter if you do it like boil it on the stove or
So I will say I personally don't use microwaves anymore just because of the amount of radiation in them. So I do everything on the stove or a Keurig. So you can use either one, and I haven't had any issues, but I can test the pH to make sure. But I just noticed that it enhances everything still. So with that said, I know that the hydrogen's still active because it enhances everything.
And then if you buy the machine, there's a sheet that we can send you, and it shows you all the different things for each level that what you use it for.
Yeah, has over 100 uses. So like, and in Anna and Maj, I mean, all of us, like, we've discovered new things that aren't even on that sheet.
The 11.5 is above the column.
Yeah, it's awesome. They don't like it. They hate it.
I sprayed the 2.5 and it takes me the itch.
And in the supplement, it also has some of your vitamins, olive oil, stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and pass these around too, so you guys can look at everything. Feel free to open them up. Totally up to you. Okay. So why did I decide to get into the business side of things? Because one, wanted to help people. Two, here's all those medical bills I was telling you guys about. That was just one round, all right? Inflation's really bad. Living paycheck to paycheck. I don't know if you've noticed, but like in Colorado, things are so expensive now. Our state has really changed in the several years that we've all been here. I'm a native. Anybody else a native? Oh yeah, a lot of natives. Yes, love that. But things are just really expensive. So inflation, I just want to show you guys a little bit of thing about inflation and how bad it's gotten. So rate for 2022 was 8% and a 3.3% increase from 2021 in the United States. And then here's kind of just like an annual inflation rate graph. This is of 2020, 2021. This is all the way to December of 2022. And I wanted to take a peek at 2024 because I just feel like it keeps going up. But what was crazy is a 2023 survey conducted by payroll.org, 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 78%. I used to. It was not fun, you know. I couldn't go out with my friends. I couldn't say, hey, dinner's on me. You know, I was always scared. I was like, ooh, I don't really have money. Like, where are we hitting that's, you know, cheap? So there's a little thing. So just a quick thing about the business. There's no monthly qualifications. So like in Cutco, I had to do monthly qualifications. It just felt like a lot of sales pressure. And then when I didn't sell, it was like, you're deranked, you're done. I was like, what? So I'm not even a distributor for them anymore because of that system. And I made it high up. I actually went and opened a whole new division in Oklahoma. There's no annual like renewal, which is really great. And there's international sales, so everybody is different, and all the sales in all the different countries are different, and their compensation plans are different, but we have everything aligned and ready for everybody. So we are not a pyramid scheme, we are not MLM. Reason being is because we are part of the Direct Sales Association, and we're through an 8-point system. So I like to think of the system as a pie. So we are patented. So it's one of the few businesses I've seen that actually has a patent for the distributor compensation. And it's actually the only ionizer in the world that has this kind of plan. So everybody else that buys like Tanya and all of them, they don't get any perks to any of this. The reason why Mr. Oshiro wanted to start this is because he wanted to open this up to the world and to help everybody around, since he was losing family members left and right to a lot of GI stuff. All right, so I'm going to use me and my team as an example. So I went ahead, I got a machine. And so by doing that, you're automatically in the business. You don't have to pay a separate fee or anything, right? So then I made a direct sale. That sale was to Angie. So after Angie purchased her machine, I made $350, okay? And then I made a sale to my mom, right? So she went into my 2A. So you already rank up after 2 sales, okay? So after your 3rd sale, you make $700, all right? So this can go all the way to 8 points deep. So what happened with my mom is she went and helped somebody at her work. So she went this way, and we're both making the same amount, right? So whatever lane they're in, we're making the same amount. After 10 group sales, you actually will move on again to the next rank. And 10 groups meaning if my mom made sales underneath her, if Angie made sales underneath her, we all make the same. We're all benefiting. So then you move on to 3A, and we call that the Comma Club. So at your after your 11th sale, you start making over 1,000 per machine. And then 20 group sales, you'll move on to 4A. So that's $1,400 per sale, and then you just keep going. So just keep in mind that each one of these people that are direct, they're also going indirect too. So that can help, and you guys are all making the same. 5A, so after 50 group sales, you're then going to make 1,750, and then 6A. This is where it starts to get really fun. Once you hit 6A, you start making $2,100 per sale. And you start making bonuses. So this is where you start entering into the dashes, and in the dashes, you start making bonuses. So everybody starts to go through a 6A-2 because at that level, you actually make a lifetime bonus that you can pass down to your children. So once you make that rank, you actually will fly to Japan. Mr. Oshiro will plant you a tree with everybody else's trees, and it starts very small, and then it just keeps growing and blossoming. It has your name on it, and then he gives you lifetime bonuses because he really believes in this. We all really do, and we're on a mission to help the world and stop giving people, only access to the things that we know. America, as you guys all know, is very behind when it comes to that. All of our other countries are very ahead. So these are just some of our business conferences, or I call them our community conferences. They're really super fun. So the gentleman in the middle, that's Thomas. That's the one that helped me with the water. I got to actually go on stage and tell everybody about how this water changed my life, including all these other people that had their health testimonies as well. The guy next to me is actually a veteran. I love him. He actually suffered from Parkinson's disease. And so this water helped him. This girl, Nicole, she's one of my good friends all the way on the end. This water helped her with a really rare skin condition, and I can't even say the name. But basically, her skin was itchy all the time, every single day, and depending on the weather, it would just get worse. Like if there was wind, worse. She said not only was this a physical change, but it was a mental change for her as well, because the water helped her stop itching. I mean, could you imagine itching 24/7 a day?
Do you know the name of her?
Oh, I have to ask her. It's so long. Is it? Oh, you poor thing. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Yeah. So she suffered from something. Nicole Ramos. She, I think her Instagram's like the real Nicole or something. But we talked. This lady Michelle in the middle, she suffered from an eating disorder. I mean, the list just goes on and on with everybody. So the reason why our team is replicating so fast is because of all the different apps that we have. So we have Kajabi, where you just plug and play. It helps you with all the installation. You have me as well. You have my team. And then we have Telegram. We have free live trainings like all through the week. So we're not here to just say, hey, here's your machine. If you're really interested in the business side, like we help you through that. We help you through the process, and we're here forever. Especially if you do get a machine, we're here to help you install it. We're here to help you guide you through it. We're here to help you share. We're here to welcome people all over the world. I've had video chats with people in Africa, like trying to find times and stuff because we're on such a different time zone. But this is why our team is just launching. Like we're just going. We're staying up to date, even with like AI and everything. So here's just some testimonies besides mine and my team here of just people in the business. So this is Chris O'Brien. After being gone for just 6 days at our community event for our business, I came home to 20+ checks. He made $13,100. No job, no clock in, no overhead, no employees, no boss. I was able to go sailing on a Duffy, go race car, go-karts, having amazing meals with my team and friends, grow my mind and brand, which were all tax write-offs. So this whole event I put together is all tax write-off. You come home to a profit and residual income coming later. This business model and company is the most generous out there, and we truly changing lives through health and wealth. There's so many. I mean, Becca, she went out of town for 2 days, came home to $5,000 worth of checks. This business is life-changing. Kristen, she's a cancer survivor. I received a check in the mail, which allowed me to finally buy the bunk bed I wanted for my boys. I mean, there's so many people. So these are the 3 products. This is what they cost right now. We do have smaller models of the K8s. We have larger ones. This is a shower. And then the Ukon isn't just 1 box. That's a whole year's supply of it, right? So we have options. So some people, are like, hey, I can just pay that. I want this. I want to change my health. But there were others like me that were suffering, that were in medical debt, didn't have the credit score, yada, yada. So the first thing I always tell people is we have multiple financing options. One of the best ones right now is actually Blue Cash with American Express, because you get $250 back. They even give you like Disney credits and travel credits. But there's 0% APR, and then there's no annual fee. So I always look for cards like that, so we can discuss that. So some people will put the full amount on that credit card. Some people will just put a down payment and make payments. But if you do put the full amount, like you have the option to pay as low as like $54 a month. Next is the in-house and Magic financing. So this is what I had to do because my credit was so awful. My credit cards were maxed out with medical bills. And so the machine, depending on your zip code, this is a zip code for here, is somewhere around this as a down payment, but this is for the 24 months. So we can go as short as 3 months all the way up to 24 months. Your down payment will change based on which one you select, and you can push your payments out 2 months going this way. We have a huge Phoenix, Arizona, a huge event coming up. So if that's something you're interested in, we would love for you to come. Multiple people, I think I have 8 people already coming from Colorado. So this is for any entrepreneurs. This is for anybody that just wants to get with new friends, new community. In this event, we're going to have special guest Daniel G there and so many others. We're also going to have a gala dinner, a DJ. We're going to have some fun as well. It's not going to just be sitting there listening. So tickets are pretty cheap, in my opinion, compared to some of the events that I've gone through. But something that I like to say is if you do purchase the machine today, I actually will buy your ticket to this event because I believe in this company. I believe in this community, and I've made more friends in this community than I have in like 15 years. So all my friends, they're everywhere. Rocio, we were complete strangers, and we actually met through one of these events. We're like, hey, you want a room together? We're like, yeah, sure. And we just became best friends. So I highly encourage, even if you have another business, maybe you just want to meet new people, get around a better crowd, or just go have fun. I really encourage you to step in, say hi, come with us. We're all going to be flying together and actually getting an Airbnb and going to the gala. Jill, where's Jill? She ran away, but she's going as well. Rocio and Angie to be determined. Same with my mom.
I just wanted to say something really quick. Janae used to work 12-hour days. Still came home for the training 2 times a week. So we eat dinner while she's watching it online. And she would train in this group of people. Like I just saw Gio on there, right? They are amazing very well. And anytime, like, they're all used to being on the phone whenever, except for, late at night or whatever. But like Janae can call Gio and say, how do I do this or that? And he's helped her learn so much. And Thomas too, like Thomas, my nest ball got lost. Like, we don't know where it is. Like, I'm going to use Janae's because I ordered one. He found it. It's on its way. Thomas did it for me, So they're all there to help you no matter, when you can Zoom with them. That's what these guys do. They're all on Zoom, all of them. And I see them, they're in my front room in the kitchen all the time. I hear their voices. I'm like, oh, that's Thomas. That's you. I know their voices now. I know who they are. And they haven't even met me. Thomas is the only one that's met me. But I know who they are. So yeah, she did it.
Thanks
She
for
did it and she trained. And I'm really proud of her for doing that because I know you were tired a lot of times.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up because that totally went on my head. But I actually am grateful that I built this on the side with my other job because when I got fired, I was like, and I didn't know how to be my own boss. I was always used to being told what to do. I was used to having somebody make a schedule for me. And I'm so grateful of the mentors and the friendships that I have because a lot of people similarly, built this on the side part-time and then got to escape that lifestyle and have more time with their family, which I'm very grateful for. I'm like, wow, I actually get to be home. I get to spend time with my dogs, my family, my friends. They're like, oh, well, I have this time or, I only have this time because of work. And now I used to say the same thing. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have to even worry about that. What is this? It's a lifestyle. And it's a huge change. And, the healthcare field creates a lot of burnout. And I was very burnt out. But I'm so grateful that I had this on the side because now I'm like, oh, well, I have a job. I have everything, I get to do what I want. So thanks for bringing that up. These are just some of the people that I met. This was Dr. Michael that I was telling you guys about. I didn't even recognize him when he came up to me. And because he previously had lost so much hair and then he got the anispa. And look at his hair. It's all back, flowing. But I didn't know. I'm like, man, he came up to me, talked to me. It must have been somebody important because everybody started coming up with the cameras. And I'm like, who am I talking to, right now? Then I realized. Jeremy Miner, love him. I actually learned a lot from his NEPQ sales training. I have the full thing. He came and trained us on how to persuade people in a different way now and care about other people. And that's what I really liked about his style. Whereas other salespeople are just really pushy and annoying. You get that spam call and you're like, gosh, go away. His way is a whole nother level and it really shows you care about others. Ray Higdon, he changed my life. He came to one of our events and he actually was just coaching us last week again. but just his leadership, I really value, and I really love that he can share that with others, and his books are really good as well. And then Colton, he's the one that like started this whole thing with our group. Like our group never had any of this, never had Zooms, never had anything. He's like, our team meetings were like 3 of us, and he just really expanded it because his mom actually had lupus. So she was the original one that got the machine and was recommended by a holistic doctor. And then she's like, Colton, you know, you should really check out the business side. And he's like, no, I'm in car sale. Yeah, I'm doing this. And so he did, and he just is amazing. You wouldn't know this, but he's like over like about 7 foot tall, I would say. So when I first met him, it was a shock. I was like, whoa. But he's really awesome. These are just some of our team. Cindy Light is a cancer survivor as well. This water really helped her. Our community is really fun. We have a good time, and we just really value everybody and their differences. So we would love for you guys to come and have a good time with us. This is just ours, and it keeps growing because this is just a segment of our direct team within the whole team. I mean, the trainings, the dinners, there's me with Ray Higdon having lunch. So it comes down to, you know, you've seen everything, and I really appreciate you all taking this time to just step into your own health and your own wealth. And I appreciate you all sitting here listening, because when I first saw this, you know, it really changed my life. So, you know, I always say, are you a 1, 2, or 3? So 1, hey, no thanks. Thank you so much, you know, for coming. We really appreciate it, but we're really not interested. 2 is, I definitely want this. I just have a couple questions, and I just want to meet with you to just discuss that really fast. Whether that's, you know, a financial situation, a question about the machine, maybe it's the science, something going on, more than happy to help. Or 3, I'm ready to go. Sign me up now. Like how I was like, I'm tired of being sick. I'm tired of not feeling right. I want to just change. So you're either a 1, a 2, or a 3. If you're a 3, I'm going to have you make your way over to this table, and Angie, Michelle, Rosia will start helping you out with the paperwork really fast. If you're a 2, I want you to come up here, and I can answer some of those questions for you. And if the line gets too long, I'll actually connect you with Thomas, and he can help, you know, answer some of that for you too. And if there's something above my head, I'll call him, because he's been doing this for 18 years. And then 1, thank you. If you're not interested, totally understand, but keep this in the back of your mind. And I'm so grateful you guys all came. Thank you to everybody that helped, and have a good rest of your day. Is anybody a 2? Can I help anybody? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me just turn off my live, that way.
I've got little kids running around that are so old.
Okay.
Anybody else?